everybody. Welcome to another episode of I'm Having a Party. What are you bringing? And today's guest is one of my dear friends. She's absolutely amazing. She can do just about anything. And we're going to be talking about some of the current events and how her job will help us better understand some of the things that we see going on the news and on social media. My friend Dr. Laurel Johnson is here. She is someone that I met on the set of Master Chef Season 10. She is absolutely amazing, absolutely beautiful. She loves food. She loves culture. She loves travel. So welcome, Dr. Johnson. How are you?
Good. How are you doing, Dorian? Good to see you. Long time no see.
Thank you. So, Dr. Johnson, can I just call you Laurel? Can I just?
Just call me Laurel.
We had a party.
Yeah.
That's formal. We just dressed up, looking good. Girl talk, whatever. So let me just give you the opportunity to tell people where they can find you on social media.
So you can find me on social media, Facebook, Perfectly Seasoned 2016, on Facebook, and then also on Instagram as well. Or on Instagram, also Dr. Chef Bay. So Dr. Chef Chef Bay, BAE. So that's where you can find me. Like my little, I do it all, Dr. Chef Bay.
Right, you do it all, and that's one of the reasons why I'm super excited about having you on, because we're going to dive into a little bit of everything. Now, just recently, I was so excited for you when you posted on Facebook. You just got a major promotion. Tell the people what that promotion was.
Yeah, so I'm at the University of Minnesota and in the College of Pharmacy. And so before October, I was director of diversity there in the College of Pharmacy, but I was also faculty member in pharmacology. And so in October, I was recently announced as associate dean for CARE, and CARE stands for Community Advocacy, Resilience, and Empowerment. And so this is an excellent opportunity for me to spread the love across the College of Pharmacy, internal and also external as well. Really pushing forward initiatives and platforms that really benefit everyone within our university.
Nice. I am super proud of you. When I saw that, I was like, you got it! Good job! Congratulations. So let's just dive right on into it. We're going to get into the nitty gritty of what we kind of talked a little bit off camera. DEI. DEI is one of the biggest subject matters right now, and we all know why. Kind of explain to us, because you do have a lot of knowledge when it comes to this. And one of the things that I've told you is, for whatever reason, right now, a lot of people in African American culture are looking at this acronym as a slur because of the way that it's being used. Give us your take on DEI, and what do you think about the overall conversation that's being had right now, both in our culture and outside of our culture?
Absolutely. So DEI, so first we got to give a definition. I'm talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. So my former title was actually Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. So DEI, and then it had an A on it, accessibility. And it was all a good thing. When we're talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, oftentimes we are just people relegate that to race and ethnicity. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is not just about race and ethnicity. It's about the identities that you hold and the diversity of identities that we hold within our communities, whether it's being a woman, your gender, whether it's a certain age. I'm 47, I'm middle age. Whether it is your racial or ethnic background, I'm African American, your religious background. I always say that I'm a Christian and a firm Christian. And so, looking at that is all the things that we bring in the table, all the things that are a part of us and who we are. And so, when you're thinking about DEI, it's really comprises of really the richness, the culture of the community and the environment you're in. And so that's the diversity piece of it. When we're thinking about DEI, so E, the equity piece of it, the equity piece is really simple and it's really being able to have that opportunity, right? Being able to have access to those opportunities that creates whatever we call or superficially call this American dream. Whether it is, I want to be a CEO, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to, be a philanthropist, I want to be, a culinary wizard. It's that access point that gets you there. And oftentimes that access point is in the form of some sort of education. That access point is formalized training and being able just to be there, right? And so the inclusion piece is really what you're trying to have access to, right? And being in that whole, being at the table, offering those ideas, offering that suggestion, and then also attributing to the overall mission and the goal of whatever you aspire to do. And
Right.
so there have been negative things associated with DEI, like it's it's a token, it's something that's given. And I say, with DEI, you definitely earned it. It's not saying that I'm not qualified. DEIA is really exposed and giving me that opportunity where otherwise I did not have that opportunity to have access to that information, right? And so there's also slogans talking about DEI definitely earned it. Absolutely. Definitely earned it. Or, that you're not qualified. But DEI overall is something that I take with pride in being having that opportunity. And DEI is something that, I mentioned it's becoming more of a privilege to be able to really live in your authentic self in terms of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Right.
On my Facebook post, one of my Facebook posts, I said, you know what? I do not have the privilege to be mediocre in terms of being an African American, cisgender Christian woman. I do not have the privilege to be mediocre. I've always been taught, all raised, Laurel, you got to be better. You got to do better. You have to work twice as hard to get half as much. And that's
Right.
at the corporate table. That's at, even the dinner table. That's at a lot of different tables. And so one of the things is just really to dispel those misnomers that DEI is a gift. Like, I'm giving this to you despite your qualifications or the lack thereof.
Right.
It's one of those things that it's just not given. We've had
Right.
to earn everything that we've gotten through
Exactly.
DEI initiatives and not.
Right. So it's funny that you speak about having to be better because as everyone knows, I have a young daughter who one time came home to me and she had a C on a paper, and her teacher, who I didn't feel like she said it out of malice or anything of that nature, but she told her, "It's okay, Mia. You can make mistakes sometimes. It's okay." And I quickly corrected Mia, and I told her, unfortunately, you really don't have the space to make the same mistakes as your counterparts in your school. You don't have that because she went to a predominantly all white school. So,
Mhm.
although your teacher told you, yeah, two things can be right at the same time. Yes, it's okay to make mistakes, but unfortunately, when it comes to your education and you being able to move forward, you have to extend yourself further. Like when you're
Mhm.
running a race, in order to really win, you got to really extend that leg over the finish line. Even
Right.
though your body is back here, that leg got to hit that line before anybody else's do. So, no, you don't have the privilege of being mediocre, as you say. We have to work harder. And then when you work harder, that is even not enough sometimes. That sometimes
Mm-hmm.
is not enough because now you're intimidating or you are, you're too strong, your personality, you know what I mean? So it's never a place where you can really get a foot up. So I totally agree with your parents and their parenting to you because look at you now, it paid off. But I don't think people understand the conversations that we have at the dinner table with our children and making them become not just the best you can be, but you even have to be better than that. And it's a strain and it's not fair, but it's our reality, right? That's just how we have to be. So thank you for your take on that. Let me ask you this, and how do you think, how do you see us moving forward? Um, how can we move forward in a way that we still make, okay, how can I put this? Do we make our own tables now? Do we just totally and completely stop trying to get in rooms where we aren't wanted and where the workplace may become hostile? Do we now just say, you know what? Now I see that this is going to be an issue. How do we now move as a culture, not just as as an African American culture, but as women, right? As Black women, how do you see us now having to move in this new era of DEI not being available?
That's the $1,000,000 question. And that's like the strategy, right? How do we move forward? Um, I've always said we have to move forward and get back to community.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being is like in our culture, in our nature, um, I would say the American culture really focused on the I. And I, in terms of achievement, this is what I did. This is my excellence. This is this. This is my thing. This is my this. And if we really go back to, just some African roots, we are very communal people. We thrive in community. And
Mm-hmm.
so what community meant is you poured in your resources for community's sake, for the elevation of the community. You had people to play roles and parts. You had your doctors, you had your lawyers, you had, the medicine women, you had the mothers, the caregivers, everybody played a role in the community. And no one's role was less important than anybody else's role. And so I think as we have to really come together and come together as a community, knowing that there's going to be certain sacrifices. Might make a sacrifice and make a sacrifice to self, but to elevate the community. And so we really have to come forward together as a community, nurturing one another, supporting each other, not having this individualistic mindset in order to push and elevate the community, our internal in terms of cultural community, but then also the global community as well. There's an old African proverb, and I tell this to my students all the time. They know it by now. It's like, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, we have to go together. And so we really need to focus on that pillar and what we actually thrive in. And it's not this thriving in individualism, it's more in that thriving in terms of being a community and enhancing the community overall. We're
Right.
stronger when
Right.
we're together.
Exactly. I totally and completely agree. Coming from a large family myself, I don't think that we would have been able to be honest, I don't even think we would have been able to survive if we all didn't do the jobs that our parents picked out for us. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
my mom and my dad wouldn't have been able to manage um, um, a household of that size by just them and no help at all. So you enlist your children and hey, this is your job, this is your job, and they're all important because they're all for the betterment of the household. So that in a bigger scale as far as our community, is how we would definitely, like you said, grow together. Like now, all of my siblings have branched out, and they're using those exact same that same model with their own in their own family. So it works. Like we know that it works. Our ancestors did it. Our grandparents did it. It works. It's just a matter of coming together and actually doing it. So we talked about DEI. We talked about the things that we can do better. Let's talk about how you and I met. We met on the set of MasterChef season 10, and that was a big, huge thing, right? Like that was amazing. But after MasterChef, we did a cook together. You guys all came to Atlanta and we all cooked together. But after that, you had a bit of a health scare sometime after, and we were talking, and it really changed your view on food and how food affects the body. And what, if you want to talk about it, you're more than welcome to. We only have a little bit of time left, and I want to get to our dish here and talk about what you're bringing. So just briefly tell us what happened and your view on food now.
Yeah. So this is just a testimony, and I'm glad that I'm here to be able to tell my testimony. In 2023, after coming back from vacation, trying to do self-care, I was found in my home unconscious, just passed out. A friend, I say an angel, came and found me, broke into my home, found me, and I was just laying there, rushed to the hospital. I was in a coma for like 3 to 4 days. I ended up being diagnosed with diabetes, type 2 diabetes at the time. And, just going through that, like, oh, I need to change what I eat, sugar, like food, all of that. And so in knowing that, I believed in God for healing, in that process, like this is not going to be my permanent diagnosis, and having, diabetes and, I worked on it, medications, following a regimen, changing diet, exercise. And I could say today, I'm still dependent on one medication, but all my other medications are gone. Right. I have reduced my A1C. It was when I went in the hospital, it was 15.9. High. Now my A1C is like a 5.5. Like it's normal. It's in normal range. And so one of the things in terms of like, food is really important in terms of like when you cook with sugars or salts and processed foods versus not processed foods. I really had to really change and really monitor what I ate in order to get healthy. And so in 2016, I started Perfectly Seasoned, which was my catering business. I sold cinnamon rolls, like cinnamon rolls were to die for. They still are to die for. But cinnamon rolls and had clients and so it was just like I can't give them consciously what landed me in the hospital, right? And so I had to change my strategy, change things up in order to really prepare food that is nutritious, flavorful, and that the body can use as fuel.
Right.
Not just to feed the insatiable hunger because I want it, but I'm eating it because I need it to survive.
Right. It's a craving. So, not to go into those cravings and try to, I call it the craving monster. And one of the dishes that you gave me earlier was curry vegetables, and you gave me the option between Brussels sprouts and green beans. And the thing that I love the most about this is that the way that I'm going to prepare it is full of flavor. So you don't need that much salt. You don't need, all of those other things because the ingredients and the spices alone will give it plenty of flavor. Now, I always say, if you season at the stove, you do not have to season at the table. And it's that table salt that gets us all the time. Taste your food, and this is something I have to tell my husband all the time. Taste your food before you put salt on it. You don't know if it's enough or not. but we get into the habit of just saying, it's not enough. I already know. So if you season while you're cooking, you don't have to do that at the table. Nobody should ever have to put salt on their food at the table unless you just absolutely don't do anything. So we are coming near the end of our. It's been fun talking to you. I have to
Yeah.
honestly say that, and it's such a pleasure. I see you did a big chop, like you got a whole look, got the wide gut. I'm loving the glasses. Like you look absolutely beautiful, Laurel. And I'm not just saying that. I mean it.
Thank you.
I think you look absolutely amazing. I do. And you know, there's a group of y'all girls that are close to my heart. I love y'all to death. And I hope that we can get together again like we did before. And again, I'm not just saying that. I really mean it.
We will.
I miss y'all. So let's do these curry green beans real quick. I like a little bite to my green beans, so I'm okay with them being just blanched. I think that in our community, we overcook our vegetables way too much and cook all the vitamins out. That's why we got to drink the juice. So because it's all in there. So let's get started on these green beans real quick before we go. The one thing that I absolutely love about this this recipe that I'm about to do is that I'm using Garcia de la Cruz. Now, this is a different oil. This is the sunflower, avocado, and olive oil. This is a new blend that they have. It's really, really good. And everything that I do in the Essential and the Master Miller, I do with this oil too. So we are going, this is a fresh bottle too. Look, I guard this oil like it's liquid gold. I really do. The first thing we're going to do is going to add about, I would say 1 teaspoon. It looks like it's more, but it's not. It's 1 teaspoon of olive oil. Oh, and one more thing. Everybody who's a guest on I'm having a party when you bring in will get a bottle of olive oil when they after their short is. Let me grab a spatula real quick. Now I'm going to add to this oil. I'm going to toast my curry powder. It's better to toast it so that you can get it to bloom. A lot of people just dump it in, and I love a lot of curry. I don't know about you, but I love curry. Absolutely,
I love curry too.
Love it, love it. So I like to toast it a little bit in the oil, and this is going to help it bloom. Once you smell it, it's usually at the place to where you can go ahead and start adding all of your other vegetables, all of your other aromatics. Now, Laurel, you do Brussels sprouts.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't tried curry Brussels. Look, potatoes.
Okay. So
girl,
Brussels sprouts are just like phenomenal. Like, because it's a cross between cabbage, but they're a little bit sturdier, where you still have that little crunch and that bite to it.
Oh my God.
And it observes and that caramelization that happens after you split the Brussels sprouts, put it in the pan. It's just so wonderful and delicious.
Right. To this curry powder, we're going to add a ton of garlic. Now, in my cookbook, I have a garlic green bean that is absolutely amazing, where I use elephant garlic, and I love it. I love elephant garlic. I don't like these little baby cloves of garlic because it just takes too long. So give me something the size of a shallot. I love a big, huge clove of garlic. We're going to add some white sweet onion to this, or yellow onion. It looks white, but it's from a yellow onion. We're going to add that, and I can already smell it, Laurel. It smells so good. Mm-hmm. It really do. And I love the color of this. We're going to add a little bit of bell pepper, because when you think of curry, for me, I'm instantly going like, I don't know. I just feel like onions and bell peppers just add to it. And I want something else to snack on when I eat my green beans. I also have a little bit of shredded carrot, just a little bit. And this is going to add to that beautiful color. We are going to throw in some of our beautiful French green beans. I like the French ones because it doesn't take as long to cook, right? Like versus your standard green bean. Now, this is where the party, y'all know me, I will find a spice somewhere. I really will. I love spicy food, and when I think of curry, I think spicy sometimes, and this is a good way to add it. I am using Swanson, crazy enough, has a new chicken broth, and it is spicy. I found it today.
Really?
Girl, yes, ma'am, honey. We
Okay,
put
I'm gonna
that
have
in
to try
there.
that.
Yes, it's really good. So we ain't wasting nothing. Nope, you go in there too. So what you do is you let this come back up to steam, just to steam. And I'm gonna taste this even now because I am not afraid of a raw green bean.
That crunch
Man,
is amazing.
And it's so good already. It's already really, really good. You're gonna let these steam until the green beans turn that bright, beautiful green, and then they're done. Once they get to that bright color, you can pretty much leave them in a warm skillet, and then if you want them cooked a little bit more, they'll steam through. But what you don't want to do is cook them all the way down to absolutely nothing, because it's pointless at that point to even, they're already like, they're dead.
That's like the nutritional value is gone. Like
Gone.
I need a little bit of bite and crunch in my food.
Right.
You know, like just a little bit.
Right. Now, my husband and my daughter love asparagus and Brussels sprouts. They do. But let me tell you, they love it. Asparagus they love with just lemon and oil, little salt and pepper. But Brussels sprouts, girl, they got to be cooked in bacon fat with bacon bits on them, deep fried. Toast like popcorn. But still good. I love them steamed. I love them boiled. A Brussels sprout can't never go wrong for me.
Absolutely.
Not at all. Cover it. Let them come to that bright green, and then they're done. Laurel, thank you so much. So before we go, what are you bringing to the party?
Oh, so for this party, I'm going to bring conversation. You always have to have good conversation and dialogue. Everything happens at the dinner table and at the party, right? In this season, I'm bringing some popcorn too, because what's going on, I need to sit back, just relax, and just digest what's going on. And so I'm just going to watch for a little bit before I yell at the screen and tell them, don't go there, don't do this. Before I interject into the movie scene, I'm going to bring my popcorn so I can enjoy it. And I'm also going to bring strategy for us to be able to move together as a community, for us to advance in these times, but then also in the good times as well. And so bringing those three things, conversation, some popcorn, and strategy.
Thank you so much, Laurel. I see nothing but great things happening for you. You're a believer. You know that I love you dearly. Thank you so much for coming on. God is going to continue to bless every step that you make. I just know that this is only not even halfway of where God is going to take you. So congratulations on your new position. Congratulations on your clean bill of health. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
And I hope to be talking to you soon. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Oh, and girl, I'm excited. So let me go ahead and pray us out. What I say to one, I say to all, watch and pray and live holy every day in Jesus' name. I'll see you guys next time.